Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and today we are going to be checking out a Configuration 3 landing. Alright, so first off, many people may not even know what a Config 3 landing is, and that just means we're landing with flaps 3 instead of flaps full. It's important not to distinguish flaps 4 with a full flap configuration. There actually is, a different designation for it. Now, why would you use a flaps 3 configuration instead of flaps full? For the most part of all the research that I've done, it's pilot preference. Okay, now what are the advantages and disadvantages to flaps 3 versus 4 or full? Yep, there, I did it. With flaps full, we have a higher AOA, a lower approach speed, obviously, and lower approach speed means less roll time on the landing. However, with the flaps 3 approach, we are about anywhere from 15 to 20 knots faster. We have a lower angle of attack, which makes the flare a bit easier to manage. And also, in the event of like wind shears over the runway, you have a better chance of managing those because you're at a higher speed. So it's, again, really, for the most part, it comes down to pilot preference. There is no major difference between the two as regards to, functionality. Even with flaps 3, shorter runways doesn't sound like is a problem from all the research I've done. You can still, stop the aircraft in plenty of time. There's about a 300-meter difference between the two as far as the roll time. So most runways can easily accommodate a flaps 3 approach. So let's get into what we need to worry about in order to arrange a flaps 3 approach. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come down, and by the way, we are just following the guide. That's what got me on this, is I was adding this to the A320 guide. And I figured, I would share it with you guys. So most of this stays the same. So we're just going to come to our approach phase. Under the performance menu, we still need to put in the same information. So let's come back over to our EFB. And let's see what KLAX is looking like today. We have winds 280 at 19, gusting at 25 knots. So, this is actually a perfect chance to use this. 25 knots, that's a big smack in the face. So, 280 at 19 knots. So let's go ahead and put that down into our MCDU. Oh, wrong one. There we go. So we're going to go 280/19. I don't know if there's a way to put in the gusting information. I don't think there is. Transition altitude in the United States, always 18,000 feet, so we don't worry about that. Now let's set our decision height to 200 feet on the radio, which is just our radar altimeter. It's going to be 200 feet above ground level. Let's come back to our EFB for a second. Let's check out our altimeter is 29904 today. Oop, gosh, I'm all over the place, aren't I? Man, get your camera straight, Mike. All right, and so we're going to go 29-904. I've been doing screenshots and pictures and bouncing all over the place. That's why I'm sort of acting like a chicken with my head cut off here. All right, and then let's see here. The last thing we need is the temperature today. And 23 degrees. That explains the wind. It's a pretty hot day. So temp at 23. That is definitely a warm day. All right, so as far as this part, we're basically complete, but we need to change our landing configuration. So we're just going to come here and config 3. All right, now there is one more step that we have to do in order to manage this approach correctly. We need to go up top to the overhead panel. We're going to come up top, and we're just going to select landing flaps 3 right here. Otherwise, what will happen is we start to slow down and make our approach. The aircraft will think we're just running low and not configured properly for the landing. So by engaging that landing flaps 3 button up at the top, it lets the aircraft know that flaps 3 is all we're using to land and not to get alarmed as we make our approach. Now, we still have quite a ways to go here. We're just getting ready to start our top of descent here just after Midler. So I'm going to come back to you guys as we get closer to the approach. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to show you guys here. I don't think there was today. Although 280. Oh, that would mean, let's see here, let me think about which way that's blowing. That would be a tailwind then, because we're landing on runway 25. So I think we need to change our approach runway. Let's come over here. Oh no, well, wind's at 280, so they're traveling 280. So yeah, we need to change our approach, otherwise we're landing with a tailwind. We don't want to do that. So let's come into our, first let's go over to Navigraph. This is a good little tutorial for you guys, because I've already got the approach configured into the computer and we need to change it. So let's work on that for a second. Go to my favorites, go to Los Angeles. Let's look at our approaches. And let's see here. We need to come in from the ocean side here. So let's use, let's see here. I'm trying to think. You know what? Let me pull up the runway. Let's just do this. We can just pick any of these for a second, take a peek. 06 left is over there. So let's check out 07 left. Actually, let's use 07. Yeah, 07 left should work. That's fine. Los Angeles, yep. Okay, so let's change our approach to ILS 07 left. We're going to come in from the backside. So let's come back down to the MCDU. And we're going to go to our flight plan. And we're going to select our destination, change our arrival. And there it is, ILS 07 left. Alright, now, we are still using the east wind transition onto the Hollywood 1, but we're going to be, looks like the exit via, but let's double check that for a second. So we have our approach, and yep, there's the exit right there, in which case we'll be rotated back around. So yep, exit works for me. So we can close that. Look, everything else looks good. We'll hit insert, and we have our new approach configured. Let's make sure we don't have to change anything on the approach phase. I don't think we do. Nope, all that still looks great. I didn't think any of that would change. So now we are all set. We're ready to roll. So I will see you guys as we come back around for an oceanside landing. That should be fun. Alright everyone, so we are down at 13,000 feet. We're getting ready to start configuring for landing. We're getting ready to turn on to our transition point of exit. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and start configuring the aircraft. We're actually going to use auto brakes low, not medium. Didn't mean to hit that. See if there's anything down here that I need to be aware of. We need to arm our spoilers. I think we're pretty much set here. I've already got my lights turned on. I was expecting to go all the way down, but I descended a bit faster than I wanted to, although those should be on taxi. And that, I think, yeah, should be an easy flight. So, a little more information to a landing 3 configuration. The other thing that you'll find with flaps 3 is that the controls will be more responsive. I mean, obviously more airflow, you know, the faster you're going, the more airflow you get over the control surfaces. The more airflow over the control surfaces, the more responsive they're going to be. So it makes it pretty handy. Once we turn on exert, we'll go ahead and activate the localizer, or the, not the localizer, the LS. That's when we get into about 10 miles, I'll probably do the localizer, depending on how far off course we are. If I can do any of that pilot stuff where I actually fly the plane correctly and, you know, not turn into a burning ember on the ground. Because I've heard that's bad. But, you know, I mean, trial and test, right? You know, you got to find out for yourself. Don't take everyone's word for everything. You know, sometimes you got to see what it's like to be a smoking hole in the ground. Don't take that advice. That's really bad advice, guys. Just for the record, don't do that. Okay? We are looking good, though. Sometimes I could just fly the sim and just look at the scenery. I really can. That's why I like doing the Corsair. That's why I shared that Caribbean jump the other day. Some of these aircraft are fun to just fly around and look around. I love it. I need to get more VR time in. I don't fly enough just 'cause anymore, you know? Always got something else going on here. Alright, let's start continuing our descent down. Is it taking us all the way down here? ILS mode. Let's check our radio. I don't think that frequency is correct. Do I still have Navigraph up? Nope, I think I closed it. Let's find out, because I'm almost positive that is not right. I think that's for 2.5 right. It might be the same. It could be. But let's just double check, because I'm not convinced at all. Approach, what do we say? ILS 07. Left is what we picked. Yeah, 11136. So let's bring that up. Oh, that doesn't help me. Alright, so we're going to do 111.36. Entry out of range. Did I put it in the wrong spot? 111. Oh, no, it's already in there. Entry out of range. Did I miss something? Oh no. What am I clicking on? Oh, no, ILS DME for 07. But yet it shows up here as 111.1. Interesting. Oh, what was I looking at? Oh my gosh, I'm right there. I'm retarded. Oh, Fredona, you're an idiot. Okay, so don't listen to me. I'm a dork. It's right there in front of my face. I even just said it out loud, didn't I? Been a long day, guys. Been a long day. I'm just gonna leave that alone. Pretty sure that was the VOR frequency. All right, so let's bring that up. Uh-oh, we're high. We're really high. Okay, so you are not descending anywhere near fast enough for me, so we're gonna see if I can't force you to come down sooner. Come on, baby, you gotta get down. Nope, we're doing this nonsense again. Okay. So I'm gonna disengage the autopilot. Actually, no, I'm not. So we're just going to do it the right way. I'm not going to cheat. I was going to. I thought about it, but we're not going to today. So let's first slow this plane down. Get her down to 200 knots. And then we're going to go into heading mode. And start turning her around. Give her some time to descend. Why are you in the approach mode already? Come off that. Heading mode. Thank you. Okay, yep, you gotta start turning, girl. You were way too high. So what we'll do is we'll just give her a nice circle. Take her wide, get her down to a better altitude, then we'll come back around and land it. So, you guys catch the gist of what I'm doing. Literally, I'm just gonna do a circle out here. Sort of make it wide until I feel comfortable with the altitude. And then, so, I mean, right here, we're supposed to be at 1,800 feet. So let's bring that down a little bit. Yeah. So we got a ways to go. So I'm just sort of going to make a wide arc. And then I'll catch you guys as we come back around on the approach. Okay, so we're getting ready to swing back around. It just dawned on me that I figured I'd explain a bit better what I was doing. So I'm just coming back around and lining back up with the approach line. And making that wide arc that was up top. And just basically starting the approach over again. So we're out at coming up on 3,000 feet. At this point, I'm actually going to start leveling the aircraft out. So that way when we come back around, we're in line with the altitude that we want. Although it helps if I stop doing that. So it sucks because initially I started out way too high. Was descending too fast. Sorry. Stopped my descent. And then, let's see, let's put you back into managed mode. You should not still be descending. I don't know why you're descending. Thank you. 2,500. Anyway, how did my throttles get moved? It's the second time that's happened. I didn't even touch the throttles. Huh, interesting. Anyway, so I descended too fast, then I stopped descending, and next thing I found myself way too high, and it's just like, oh man. You know what though, this whole day's been like that. You ever one of those days where you just keep doing goofy crap no matter what you do, like you just... I have done things that make me want to shake my head today so many times. Turn some of these lights on. I'm sure you guys all know what those days are like. Let's tune these down a bit. Coming in for a nice evening approach. Alright, so at this point, we'll just start turning us around. I'm basically just going to keep it in manual mode until we come out of the approach, or come for the approach. Well, I guess theoretically. See what it does if I come out of heading mode. Alright, well, let's start slowing her down. Actually, we can just do that. Let's activate the approach phase. Let's turn the localizer on. Start acquiring it. What's our speed at? 240 knots. We are fast. Let's help her slow down a bit. I'm not worried that we're not descending yet. Do flaps 1. Oops, not flaps 2. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Don't yell at me. Alright, we've acquired the ILS localizer.
$2,500.
Watching that airspeed. Autopilot's being really weird right now. Not sure what that's happening. Look at this. This is weird, man. Just fight through it and adjust. Just fight through it and adjust. Alright, there. We've picked up the glide slope. Or the localizer. There. Now she's starting to slow down. Let's get that down. Let's go flaps 2. Let's get the landing gear down. Everything's fine. Autopilot's a little goofy there. I'm not quite sure what that was about. Let's chime the cabin. That was really odd. That's odd behavior. Alright, we've already got our go around altitude locked in, conveniently enough. Let's activate the approach mode. We're 11 miles here from our destination. That was weird how it just suddenly started slowing down. I'm not quite sure what that was about. All right, but all is well that ends well, right? We recovered. All right, so for those of you who have skipped ahead to the final moments in the configuration 3 approach, we're at flaps 2 right now. Gear is down 8.8 miles out. We're at 2,000 feet. We are configured for our go-around altitude. We have the localizer locked up. Glide slope we're still waiting to be acquired, although we're still a ways out. Should happen any minute now. Spoilers are armed. Cabin crew's been chimed. Just a matter of moving into the flaps 3 configuration. Auto brakes are low. And we're all set. Letting the aircraft do its thing. We're in the approach mode. Alright, glide slope's coming down. It'll be locked up here in just a minute. And there we go. Down she goes. Alright, so let's see here. We're at 5.5 miles out. We can go ahead and move into the flaps 3. So we're in landing configuration now. And you can see GPWS flaps 3, landing light is set, cabin is ready. Flaps 3 configuration, spoilers armed, cabin ready again here. Signs are on, landing gear light, gear is down. Or landing gear, excuse me, gear down. And we'll be disengaging the autopilot here in just a minute. Oops! Didn't mean to hit that. Tune that down a bit more, actually. Those things get bright. Alright, I think I'm going to take over a little early today. Need to practice a bit more. It's so much fun letting the computer do the work sometimes. It really is. It's just neat watching the way the systems work, so you forget that it's also fun to fly the darn thing. Alright, trying to watch those needles. Definitely got that crosswind, man.
500. 400.
A little low, not
100
too
above.
bad. Still on the needles.
Minimum.
Continuing.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
Reverses out to 80 knots. Reverse is retracted. Start applying some wheel brake here. I think we can make this one. Oof. A little rough on that. Alright, we'll come up top here for a second. Let's get those landing lights out of the way here. Runway turn-off light can stay on. Oh, we were on taxi light. Okay. And let's see here. Cleared the runway, so strobe light off. Come back over here. Flaps up. Spoilers are armed. Good. We can disarm the spoilers. And let's see. Predictive wind shear can stay on for right now. TCAS, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we're golden. Alright guys, so that was a Configuration 3 landing. Now I will tell you there was a difference, exactly what I was hoping for. You can absolutely tell the difference in the way the aircraft responds to the controls. You're moving faster. I actually truly enjoyed that, and I think I'm going to start using this more often. Again, everything was smoother. Everything felt like... I'm trying to think about how to explain this in a simulation. When I do full flaps configuration and I'm off course, I feel like I'm really fighting the aircraft in order to get it back around. Even sometimes in the flare, you're already at such a high angle of attack that I'm always so worried about the nose strike or a tail strike. And it's never happened, but just one of those things that you're always thinking about. And the approach felt a little bit more shallow, obviously, and I was a little bit below the glide slope there at the end. But so I don't think that that might have had something to do with how I felt about the landing. But the overall just feeling of the landing itself was very, very smooth, very, very nice. I felt like I had good control of the aircraft. I really enjoyed that. I think I'm going to start using this a couple more times and really start to go back and forth, see if I can notice a difference. But I mean, all I've ever done before today was full flaps configuration. Excuse me. So this was kind of a neat experience, and I can definitely say that there was a difference in the performance, and I enjoyed it. So you guys should give it a shot. Make sure you guys try this out. This was tried with the latest development version, but I do believe this was released in the stable version as well. So make sure that you guys give that a shot. Let me know what you guys think of Flaps Full versus Flaps 3. Until the next one, guys, I'll see you later.